Today, we're diving into something that's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Ultra-processed food. We're going to pull back that plastic wrapper and take a hard look at what we're really eating.
You know the saying, right? We've all heard it a million times. You are what you eat. It makes perfect sense. Our bodies are literally built from the stuff we consume. Simple as that.
But here's the twist. What happens when a huge chunk of our diet is made of substances that our bodies don't even recognize as food? That's the question we're tackling today.
And to really get it, let's start with a story. It's a really powerful one, actually. It's about a father, his young daughter, and a box of cereal.
So, this is Lyra, and her normal breakfast was pretty straightforward. Wholesome stuff. A simple bowl of oatmeal. She was just a regular, healthy kid.
But then her dad started this experiment where he had to eat a diet of 80% ultra-processed food for a whole month. And one morning, Lyra sees him with this box of super colorful, sugary kid cereal, and she wanted it. Like, really wanted it. Well, her dad finally caved and gave her a bowl. And what happened next was just strange. She put her ear to the bowl, closed her eyes, and kind of fell into this trance. She just ate and ate, way more than a normal serving, and it was like she couldn't stop, almost like she was hypnotized by it. And that one moment just perfectly captured the whole problem. This wasn't just about sugar. It wasn't just about calories. Something else was at play here. What in the world was in that cereal that made it so powerful?
Okay, so to answer that, we need to get on the same page. Let's define what we actually mean when we say ultra-processed food, or UPF. So what is it? Forget all the complicated scientific terms. There's a brilliant rule of thumb that makes it super easy. If it comes in a plastic wrapper and has at least one ingredient you wouldn't find in your own kitchen, we're talking things like emulsifiers, artificial flavorings, that kind of stuff, then it's UPF.
Now, it is so important to get this next part. Processing itself isn't the enemy, right? Making cheese, baking bread at home, that's all processing. But ultra-processing, that's a whole different beast. That's when food is broken down into industrial substances and then reassembled with a bunch of chemical additives. Think about a packaged loaf of bread that can stay squishy soft for weeks on a shelf. That's UPF.
So how much of this are we actually eating? We'll get ready for this number. In both the UK and the US, a mind-blowing 60% of the average person's calories come from ultra-processed food. It's not just part of our diet anymore. For a lot of us, it is the diet. Okay, so why does it matter? What is it about these industrial creations that's so uniquely bad for us? Because it goes way, way beyond just being high in fat or sugar. Here's the absolute key to understanding this. Real, whole food has a biological code that our bodies have evolved over millennia to understand. But UPF, with all its synthetic, man-made ingredients, it's like a foreign language. Our bodies literally can't read the code.
Think about what happens when you eat an apple. Your body knows exactly what to do. It recognizes the fiber, the natural sugars, the vitamins. It reads the code and sends signals to your brain saying, hey, we're getting energy, we're getting full. But now, compare that to a fruit-flavored snack. Your body gets a rush of calories, sure, but it has no idea how to process the emulsifiers, the thickeners, the artificial flavors. The I'm full signals never really fire. So your body, confused by these alien substances, often just gives up and shoves them into storage as fat.
And the amount we're talking about is, well, it's just staggering. The average person in the UK consumes up to 8 kilograms, that's over 17 pounds, of these chemical food additives every single year. 17 pounds.
And the health results? Well, they speak for themselves. A huge study in 2022 looked at over 72,000 people. It found that for every 10% increase of UPF in someone's diet, their risk of dementia shot up by 25%. And the evidence linking it to a whole host of other diseases is growing every single day. But believe it or not, the damage from UPF goes way beyond our own bodies. It's actually reshaping our society and our planet. The whole system basically steamrolls local food cultures with this one-size-fits-all global diet. And it's a massive social inequality issue too, because these cheap, high-calorie products are often the only food that people in poverty can afford. And environmentally, the industrial farming needed for UPF ingredients is a top cause of biodiversity loss and a huge source of greenhouse gases. Okay, I know, that all sounds incredibly bleak, right? It's a lot. But the way forward isn't about some impossible perfect diet. The solutions are actually pretty simple, and they're all about taking back a little bit of control. So here's the game plan. Just try to cook one meal a day from scratch. That's it. Get in the habit of flipping over the package and actually reading the ingredients. If you can't pronounce them or don't know what they are, that's a red flag. And please, don't aim for perfection. The 80-20 rule is a fantastic goal. Try to make 80% of what you eat whole food, and that leaves a realistic 20% for, well, life.
And this, right here, is the most important part. This is not about guilt. It's not about banning your favorite snack for the rest of your life. It is simply about awareness. It's about knowing what you're putting in your body so you can make a conscious choice. That knowledge is your superpower.
So, I'll just leave you with this one simple question. Now that you know all this, what are you going to have for your next meal? Thanks for digging into this with me today.